Buying a new device and expecting it to run speedily because it's clean and lean? Well, we don't want to break your heart here, but most devices start off slow because they're already clogged with unnecessary apps and preloaded software. Shocked? The internet gives you freedom to be who you are, download what you want, and yet maintain a safe place for yourself. An important aspect of ensuring a free and open internet is making sure that tech giants also respect the law and do not use their market dominance to engage in anti-competitive practices. But I'm sure we all are aware of the fact that big tech companies have a tendency to show self-preference, which means that they have the power to pre-install apps and make them the default option on smartphones and computer devices. Now, the truth is that over half of the world's internet traffic comes from smartphones and nearly 95% of people never change the default settings. Despite this being recognized as an anti-competitive practice by European Commission as well as US Department of Justice, big tech companies continue to make their apps the default on their devices. These default apps include Safari, Apple Maps, Google Search as well as Gmail. Are these default apps harmful? The question is, if these default apps are harmful, well, not all of them. But if we dig deep, then the answer is yes. So these apps are responsible for preventing users' freedom and their choices. Along with that, apps have poor privacy protection. For example, even if you know Gmail allows Google to access your messages, it can be difficult to change apps and your privacy is at stake. Once your personal data is collected, there is very little you can do to control it. It can be merged with other data sets, sold to third parties, or used for profiling also. Other companies also struggle to make their space in your device because the market principle of competition is already violated. That means non-gatekeeper companies cannot overcome default bias or pay billions of euros for access to your mobile devices. The power of innovation itself goes down because Apple and Google's dominance of smartphones give them very little incentive to improve. They know they will always have users at their disposal thanks to default bias. Are all default apps bad? Now this question is again important here. Remember, not all default apps are bad for the health of your device. If some apps are making your device feel weighed down, your device is taking time to boot up, and it's creating space issues, the reaction time is taking way too long, then your default apps are actually being harmful. The concept of bloatware comes here. Why do PC vendors put additional software on new machines in the first place? Sometimes it's simple to offer tools that will add functionality to their systems. But most often, it's because including third-party applications are an additional source of revenue. Now that we are learning about default apps, it's default to add bloatware in the system as well. It could refer to the programs that are installed but not used and still take up plenty of space, memory, and battery life. It usually hides in the background, so sometimes it isn't easy to detect as we would like. Well, that does not mean bloatware is some kind of malware. However, some bloatware downloaded from malicious websites or downloaded along with the third-party software could contain malware. Bloatware can consume a lot of valuable resources. While it is running on your device's background, it cripples performance, consumes memory, storage, and also brings down the battery life. Basically, bloatware clogs your machine. It could fill your internet browser with ads and in more severe cases leads to even security threat. Some bloatware examples are system update apps, weather apps, music and video players, messaging or video apps, game centers, browser extensions, etc. etc. Now are things getting better or worse here? Several months ago, the Superfish ad injection program that was installed on some Lenovo laptops also opened a serious security hole in people's systems. Superfish not only delivered ads to people when they browsed the web, it also made systems very susceptible to man-in-the-middle attacks by hackers that could spy on communications between a computer and websites that should have been secure, but that Superfish rendered vulnerable. Well, are you happy with the concept? Would you like to know more about why companies install bloatware? I know you all are honest and would want to know the truth, so here you go. Well, bloatware are installed because of the following reasons. Installing third-party applications which are not so necessary is just a marketing technique. You get used to the software, update it, and even upgrade it, thinking that it's necessity of your device. As you get accustomed to default apps, cyber criminals find a way to make copies of these apps and even try sending malware on your device. People buy more RAM hoping that it'll boost speed, but a good chunk of memory is consumed in the process of default apps alone. These big tech companies say that they provide security from attackers, but never tell us how to stay secure from these bloatware. A recent example of Apple mistakenly approving widely used malware to run on Mac is another thing I am definitely not happy with. Are you satisfied with it? Can you trust a standard PC over the customized one for better default apps? Or is it just another marketing strategy? Well, share your views with us in the comment section below and keep watching our videos every Friday.